zweiter General, der Dritte hieß den Erwägungen.
שומר עלינו, אוהב אותנו, אבא של כולם. במלחמות שומר עלינו, בנסתרות גם שם איתנו, אבא שלי הוא מלך העולם. אבא, 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 מלך העולם. מלך, 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 אבא של כולם. שוב ושוב אתה סולח, רק אליך עוד בורח, אבא, יהודתי. אבא, 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 מלך העולם. מלך, 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 אבא של כולם. שוב ושוב אתה סולח, רק אליך עוד בורח, אבא, יהודתי.
שומר עלינו, אוהב אותנו, אבא של כולם. במלחמות שומר עלינו, בנסתרות גם שם איתנו, אבא שלי הוא מלך העולם. אבא, 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 מלך העולם, מלך העולם. נו, מלך, 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 אבא של כולם. שוב ושוב אתה סולח, רק אליך עוד בורח, אבא, יהודתי. אבא, 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 מלך העולם. מלך, 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 אבא של כולם. שוב ושוב אתה סולח, רק אליך עוד בורח, אבא, יהודתי. Schöne Heim, schöne Heim. Oh, Melech, 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 zurück in Heider geht. Nur zu dir ich ständig läuft, nur zu aber dir in Häuf. Dachte, hier wo ich dachte. Father, 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 to you we sing and pray. To you we sing and pray. You never, 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 never turn away. שוב אתה סולח, רק אליך עוד בורח, תחתה. אוי, תתניו.
Has the Rebbe ever reacted in his office to people saying he is Mashiach?
One afternoon, Rabbi Zalman calls me. On Kingston Day, there was a liquor store. Then he says, Leyb, we're going to the liquor store and buy a big bottle of Maska and drink it up with one time. So I say, Rabbi Zalman, it's a very good idea for us, but why today more than any other day? He says, I'm a member of the Agudas HaRabbonim. He's not heard of Agudas HaRabbonim. This morning, there was a meeting, and the Misnagdim started attacking me. What is it that you write on the Rebbe v'hu yigolenu? That means you say that the Rebbe is Mashiach. How could you say such a thing? So Rabbi Zalman Zahl calls me. I called Rabbi Chodakov, and I told him, maybe we have to make a stop, that people should not say v'yigolenu. So at first, Rabbi Chodakov said, you're right. Then he tells me, wait a minute. And he takes me off the phone. He comes back a few minutes later, and he says, "Vos hat es eich? What do you care if they say about the Rebbe who you go leinu?" So the Rebbe, what does that mean? The Rebbe was listening to the conversation, and when he heard that Rebbe Chodakov said, "We have to stop," the Rebbe called him, and when he came back, it seemed that the Rebbe told him, "Vos hat es eich?" So the Rebbe is masking. And we could say him, "We go leinu." Dann Östen kann größer Verschel masken. Robert Bernhard became a Lubavitcher Chosid. He had started gerufen from the Rebbe. Tovshin Nun, I think, when he was visiting in New York, he comes into the, and we were very friendly, very close. He says, "Leyb, you have to do me a favor." I said, "What is it?" If you remember Simchas Torah Tovshin Men Vov, and Yigaman got up and said the Rebbe Melech HaMashiach. And the Rebbe became very serious, and he told the Rebbe Chodakov, so the Rebbe was so against mentioning him, and now I see that people are writing about it, and I don't see that the Rebbe should, so to say, negate it in any way. So I told Rebbe Bernhard, you know what? Write a letter to the Rebbe, and we'll hear what the Rebbe answers. So he sat down in the office, and he wrote a letter, and he asked the Rebbe, is now different than Tov Shem Vov? I bring the letter into the Rebbe, and the Rebbe writes, Toli Bahashoimim. And the Rebbe writes, if it's a place where it could be accepted, but if this will cause that as a result of this, people will distance themselves from say this, not to mention it. Das heißt sagen, as if it's a place where it's accepted, I get a phone call from Neshei Chabad Yerushalayim, and there are two women on the phone. They said we had over here a very difficult discussion whether we are allowed to go out and encourage people to chasmen, to sign that the Rebbe is Melech HaMashiach. Some say, being that the Rebbe speaks both mouth, we have to do it, and some say, being that the Rebbe said that if you're going to push this concept that's going to draw people away from say this, we don't think it's a proper thing. We want to know what to do. So I told them each one write a letter to the Rebbe, fax it into me, and all I take in the two letters to the Rebbe. When the faxes came, I told the Rebbe that these are two letters from two divisions of the Neshei Chabad about the same subject. The Rebbe takes the first letter, one letter, and that letter was a letter that people said they felt that in order to bring Mashiach closer, we have to get that more people should believe that the Rebbe is Mashiach. And they wrote that whole thing, and they're asking the Rebbe what to do. The Rebbe turned over the page, and he wrote, Yehei b'hatzlocha v'asker al-tzin. Then the Rebbe picked up the second letter, where they wrote that it could be as a result of this, people will say, well, if I'm saying this. The Rebbe said, Vu the rest of, where's the first letter? So the Rebbe had both letters on the table. The letter which he read first, and he wrote, Yehei b'hatzlocha v'asker al-tzin, says, this answer you should give over. And the second letter, where they wrote, but hesitant about it, says, put this into my pekah v'luchnam afanoil. So if you want to interpret that as klara verta, that the Rebbe was masking to say about him as Melech HaMashiach in both areas. This is what he told Rabbi Bernhard. It's okay. And over here was very clear that those people that said they want to go around the side of the Rebbe HaMashiach, the Rebbe Hibat Tzlocher.